Hello everyone and welcome to Replacement Player Baseball. We are here today for the rubber match, Game 3 of Cubs and Padres. The Cubs have scored 3 runs in each of the first 2 games against the Padres. In the first game, that resulted in a 10-3 loss. The second game, it led to a 3-2 win. If the Cubs keep this performance up, they just have to hold the Padres to 2 runs and the game is going to be theirs. So let's see what our starting lineups are going to be today. Well, the Padres are going to send right-hander Zach Davies out to the mound. He is the owner of a 2-1 record with a 3.33 ERA, 107 WHIP. And he will be opposed by the Cubs' Yu Darvish, who is 2-2 with a 3.52 ERA and 143 WHIP. Let's play some baseball. We have rain in the forecast, 49 degrees, and the wind blowing right to left at 11 miles an hour. Although this looks like a bright sunny day, it is apparently though raining. Well, let's see how this game goes. Darvish, the pitcher for the Cubs, looking in against the Padres' leadoff hitter. Full count. Darvish gets the sign, nods him off, takes another sign, and decides to throw the payoff pitch. Strike 3 called on low and in, and the Cubs have recorded their first out. Darvish has his first strikeout of the game. Pham strikes out to lead off for the Padres. Now Grisham is the batter with a 1-2 count. And he knocks it into center field. Almora's coming in fast, and he is going to put it away for the second out. Tatis will now be the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. 1-2 pitch to Tatis. Ground ball to first. Rizzo has it. Throws to Darvish, covering first. Had a long reach, but he managed to reel that one in. And the Padres are retired without scoring in the top of the first inning. Going out to the bottom of the first. Cubs batting, looking to try to take the lead. Jason Hayward will lead off again for the Cubs. 0-2 pitch to Hayward. Here it comes. Strike 3 swinging on a sinker that was low and in. Hayward didn't really have much he could do with that pitch. David Fletcher now is the batter with 1 out and nobody on. 2-1 count to Fletcher. Fletcher hits it on the ground over to his counterpart at second base, Profar, to to Myers today. Will Myers is covering first base, giving Hosmer a day off. And now Davies will be, Rizzo will stand in against Davies with 2 outs and nobody on. 1-1 count to Rizzo. Rizzo hits it hard to right field, but Markakis is there and he makes the catch to record the third out. Cubs go down in order without scoring, and we go down to the top of the second inning. 0-0 game. Darvish will face Machado with an 0-2 count, and Machado strikes out swinging. Nice pitch right there by Darvish. Records his second strikeout of the game, and Profar is the batter now with a 1-2 count. And Profar strikes out looking. Darvish, 3 strikeouts now in the top of the second inning. Markakis steps in. 1-1 count, 2 out. Darvish looks in. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to center field. Almora is adjusting, and he gets there to put it away for the third out. Go now to the bottom of the second inning in a 0-0 game. Baez will lead off the Cubs half of the second with a 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. And he hits it up the middle. He took a pitch that was way inside and knocked it up the middle for a single. Baez thought about going to second, but ultimately stops at first. Bryant now the batter with Baez at first, nobody out. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. Bryant hits it on the ground to third. To second, but Baez breaks up the double play at second with a hard slide, and Bryant grounds into the fielder's choice. There is now one out. Schwarber is the batter, and Bryant standing on first. 2-2 count to Schwarber. Here's the pitch. Schwarber hits it right back to the pitcher. It gets by the mound, but they do not have a play on the infield. It looks like Profar fielded it behind the mound, but he was not able to go anywhere with it. He did not even attempt to throw to first, and Schwarber is safe with an infield single. So Contreras now is the batter with one out and runners on first and second. 1-2 pitch to Contreras. Contreras strikes out swinging on a pitch that is high and away. And Almora now is the batter with runners still on first and second, but two out. 1-2 pitch to Almora. Almora gets it over the second baseman's head. That's going to drop into a single in right center field. The runner is going to come all the way around, and Bryant is out at home. That was a very close play, but Bryant dusts himself off in disgust. He is thrown out at home. Well, the Cubs get a couple base hits, but they are not able to score. They leave two men on. We go down to the the top of the third inning in a 0-0 game. Darvish will pitch to the Padres' first baseman, Will Myers, to lead off the third inning. 2-2 pitch. Strike three called with a changeup, and there was nothing Myers could do. He was frozen by that change of speed. Austin Hedges now the batter with one out and nobody on. 1-2 count to Hedges. Check swing, strike three. He was called out. The umpire said it was a strike whether you swung or not. Darvish now has two outs. He has 5 strikeouts on the game, and he's going to face the Padres pitcher, Zach Davies. 2 outs and nobody on. 1-0 count to Davies. Popped up into the outfield. Almora shading over toward right center. He makes the catch, and that is the third out of the inning. We go now to the bottom of the third of a 0-0 game. And Darvish will be the batter to lead off the bottom of the third. First pitch to Darvish, hit on the ground. The shortstop Tatis grabs it, but he loses it on the transfer. I guess they're going to credit Darvish with an infield single, but I feel like Tatis probably should have made that play. Well, Hayward now is going to be the batter. Darvish standing on first with the infield single, and a 2-1 count to Hayward. And he pops it up behind second base. The second baseman, Profar, goes out into short right field and makes the play. Hayward pops out for the first out of the inning. And now David Fletcher, who has been pretty cold lately, but has a chance to drive in around here. 2-2 count to Fletcher. Fletcher hits it up the middle. He's got a base hit into center field. Darvish stops at second as the throw goes to third. Fletcher keeps the inning going with a 1-out single. And Rizzo now is the batter. Runners on first and second and 1 out. 2-2 count to Rizzo. Here's the pitch. Rizzo hits it right up the middle, but the shift is on. The shortstop Tatis was playing directly behind second. He steps on second and throws to first, and that is an inning-ending double play. Well, normally that would have been a good-looking hit, but the shift foiled the Cubs that time. And now Darvish will be pitching to Pham to lead off the Padres half of the fourth inning. 0-2 count to Pham. Here's the pitch. Pham strikes out swinging. That is strikeout number 6 for Darvish. And the Padres will now send up Trent Grisham with 1 out and nobody on. 1-2 count to Grisham. Here's the pitch. Grisham strikes out swinging. Darvish has 7 strikeouts now. Tatis will come up. He's batting with 2 outs in the top of the fourth inning. 0-2 count to Tatis. There's a ground ball over to Baez at short. He throws to first, and Tatis is retired. Well, Darvish got him to 0-2, but was not able to finish the strikeout. We go now to the bottom of the fourth inning of a 0-0 game. Baez will now be the batter for the Cubs. against the Padres pitcher Zach Davies. He's coming out for his 4th inning of work. Davies with the pitch. Baez slaps one into center field. That's going to be a single to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning. Grisham gets it back in quickly. Baez stops at first. Bryant now the batter. 1 out, nobody out, 1 man on. 2-2 count to Bryant. Bryant hits it on the ground to third, over to second, over to first, and that is another double play. GDP right there, ground into a double play. And the Cubs runner is erased. There are now 2 outs and nobody on. And Kyle Schwarber is the batter. He actually is 1 for 1 today. 2-2 count to Schwarber. Here's the pitch. Schwarber swings and misses, and that is the end of the 4th inning. We go now to the top of the 5th in a 0-0 contest. Darvish, with 7 strikeouts in 4 innings of work, is going to face Machado to lead off the 5th inning. 3-1 count to Machado. Here's the pitch. Machado hits it hard to deep left field. He just got all of that one. He hit it all the way out onto the street behind the left field bleachers. So that is the end of the no-hitter. That is the end of the shutout. Darvish has just surrendered the lead. It is now 1-0 Padres in the top of the 5th inning. Let's see how Darvish recovers. Profar will now be the batter with nobody out, nobody on. 1-1 count. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be a base hit. It gets by a diving Baez into left field. Schwarber gets it back in quickly. And Profar stops at first after a wide turn. Markakis now is the batter. Nobody out, runner on first. 1-1 count to Markakis. That's a soft liner right at second base. Fletcher has it. He throws over to Rizzo and he doubles off the runner. That was a heads-up play right there. And the Cubs now have 2 outs on the line drive double play and nobody on base. Will Myers now the batter, 1-1 count. Myers grounds to Baez at short. The throw goes to first, and the inning is over. The Padres score 1 on the solo shot to deep left field, and now own a 1-0 lead. Zach Davies will be pitching to Wilson Contreras to lead off the Cubs half of the 5th inning. Full count to Contreras. Here's the pitch. And Contreras takes ball 4 low. He walks down to first base. Well, the Cubs have the tying run on first base, and Almora is the batter. Darvish coming up next. This will be an interesting decision. See what David Ross does next. 0-1 count to Almora. Almora pops it up to center field. Is that going to drop? No. The center fielder, Grisham, is going to get there. He puts it away for the first out. Darvish is going to bat for himself. I'm assuming that this was going to be a sacrifice situation. I see Machado is all the way up, even with the bag over at third base. Let's see if Darvish can execute the sacrifice. He lays it down on the third base line, and the throw goes to second. The Padres, on a heads-up play, throw to second to get the lead runner. The Cubs now have 2 outs. Runner on first, now in the form of Darvish, and Hayward is the next batter. 1-0 count to Hayward. And Hayward is hit. That pitch just got a little chunk of his uniform, but that is considered hit by pitch, and he walks down to first base. So now David Fletcher is the batter with the tying run in scoring position in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-2 count to Fletcher. Fletcher hits it hard to center field, but the center fielder Grisham is there, and he puts it away for the 3rd out. The Cubs do not score. They strand 2. We go now to the top of the 6th inning of a 1-0 Padre lead. Austin Hedges now is the batter, facing Darvish in the top of the 6th inning. Hedges hits it out to left field. Schwarber is there to put it away for the 1st out. And now the pitcher Davies will bat with 1 out and nobody on. 1-2 count to Davies. Swing and a miss. Darvish just recorded strikeout number 8. And now Tommy Pham is the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. 2-2 count to Pham. And another swing and a miss. That is strikeout number 9. And the Padres' half of the 6th inning is over. We go now to the bottom of the 6th with a 1-0 Padre lead. Cubs are going to send the 3, 4, 5 batters up here in the bottom of the 6th. Rizzo, the first baseman, will be leading off. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Rizzo hits it in the air to right field. That is not going to be deep enough as Markakis catches it on the warning track to get the first out. Baez now the batter against Davies with 1 out and nobody on. First pitch to Baez. Baez hits it hard out into left center field, but again, this is going to be playable. Pham reaches up and makes the catch for the second out. Chris Bryant now is the batter. He comes up with 2 outs and nobody on. A 1-strike count to Bryant. Bryant also hits out to left field, and that is going to be the 3rd out as Pham moves to his right that time and makes the play. Going now to the top of the 7th. Padres still lead 1-0. Darvish is coming out for inning number 7 of work. He has thrown 75 pitches so far on the game. He will face the Padres 2, 3, 4 batters here in the top of the 7th. Full count. Here's the payoff pitch. And there's a walk. Trent Grisham draws the walk. He heads down to first base. And Darvish now will pitch to Tatis with a runner on first and nobody out. First pitch to Tatis, Darvish. There's a ground ball to third. Bryant to Fletcher to Rizzo, and that is a ground ball double play. Cubs defense looking finely tuned today as the double play erases the runner, and the Padres now have 2 outs and nobody on. Manny Machado is the batter. 0-2 count to Machado. Darvish looks in. Here's the pitch. And Machado strikes out. That is strikeout number 10 for Darvish. We go now to the bottom of the 7th inning of a 1-0 Padre lead, and our guest conductor for the 7th inning stretch today is going to be the one and only Paul McCartney. Cubs are going to send Kyle Schwarber up to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. Cubs trying to get a run and tie this game up. Full count to Schwarber. He taps it weakly on the ground over toward third. That was actually a poor throw by the catcher Hedges, but Myers digs it out of the dirt to retire Schwarber for the first out. Contreras now is going to be the batter with 1 out and nobody on. Full count to Contreras. Here's the pitch. Contreras grounds to short. This is going to be an easy play. Short to first and a 6-3 ground out for the second out of the inning. Almora now will bat with 2 outs and nobody on. 0-1 count to Almora. Davies with the pitch. That's going to be a single up the middle for Almora. He just split the gap between second and short. And he has a 2-out single. And that will bring up Jason Kipnis. Jason Kipnis, the hero of yesterday's game, hit the pinch hit inside the park home run to give the Cubs the lead that they ended up maintaining 3-2. Kipnis now batting in another critical situation for the Cubs. 1-2 count. Kipnis gets a base hit up the middle. That is going to... Oh, but the runner is trying to advance all the way to third, and Almora is thrown out easily at third base. Man, Kipnis got that base hit, but Almora got way too aggressive on the base path. And now the Cubs go to the top of the 8th inning, still trailing 1-0. That was, honest to God, that was just a base running blunder right there by Albert Almora. There was no reason for him to try to advance to third on that single. Well, because of the pinch hitter Kipnis being used in the last inning, Brandon Morrow is now going to be the new pitcher for the Cubs. Yu Darvish had an absolutely brilliant day. He threw 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, the solo home run, and 10 strikeouts. We go now to the top of the 8th inning, and Brandon Morrow is the new pitcher for the Cubs. He will face the 5, 6, 7 batters in the Padre lineup, starting out with Jurickson Profar. 1-1 pitch to Profar. There is a line drive to center field. That is going to be off the wall over Almora's head. The throw comes into second, but Profar slides in with a double. He easily beat the throw to second base, and now Markakis will bat with a runner on second and nobody out. 0-1 pitch to Markakis. Morrow to the plate. There's a ground ball to short. Baez has it, looks the runner back, and throws to first for the first out of the 8th inning. Will Myers will now be the batter. He's coming up with runner in scoring position and 1 out. And they're going to intentionally walk Myers. Apparently, they believe he is a very dangerous batter in this situation. They would much rather face the Padres catcher, Austin Hedges, and they have set up the force out with runners on first and second and 1 out. Hedges with the 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to third. Bryant doesn't even attempt to execute the double play. He just goes straight over to first with it. I don't really get that. You walked Myers to set up the double play, and then Bryant, I guess, commits a bit of a mental error and goes to first for the force out. So now the Padres have 2 outs and runners on second and third, and they send their starter Zach Davies up to bat in the top of the 8th inning. I'm very surprised that the Padres are not utilizing a pinch hitter to try to extend this lead in the top of the 8th inning. 1 ball, 2 strike count, and Davies strikes out swinging. Morrow strands the base runners. Padres do not score. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Cubs sending up their leadoff hitter, Jason Hayward. Hayward is a bit of an unorthodox leadoff hitter, but here's the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 swinging. Hayward strikes out for the first out, and I just realized the Padres actually brought in the right-hander Andres Munoz. So they decided that they were going to let the pitcher bat for himself with 2 runners in scoring position in the top of the 8th, and then they still bring in the reliever to face the first batter in the bottom of the 8th inning. That just seems like really poor decision making on the part of the Padres manager. Well, anyway, we'll take it. Fletcher's now going to stand in and bat with 1 out and nobody on. Full count to Fletcher. Munoz with the pitch. And Fletcher draws the walk, showing some good patience. Takes ball 4 low. And now Rizzo will be the batter with 1 out and 1 on. Munoz with a 3-1 count. Here's the pitch. Rizzo skies it out to center field. I think that's going to be playable. It is. Grisham catches it. It's deep center field. Fletcher thought briefly about doubling or tagging up to advance, but he does not. Now Baez will bat with runners still standing on first base and 2 out. Full count to Baez. And Baez watches strike 3 go by. 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Nothing he could do with it right there. Well, the Cubs get a base runner, but they are not able to capitalize, and we go now to the top of the 9th inning with a 1-0 Padre lead. Brandon Morrow will be pitching to Tommy Pham to lead off the top of the 9th. Morrow comes to the plate. Pham flies out to right field. Hayward has it, puts it away for the first out. Grisham now the batter. He will stand in with 1 out and nobody on. 0-1 pitch to Grisham. And there's a fly ball to center field. More of a line drive, really. But Almora gets there and he puts it away for the second out of the inning. Tatis now batting in the top of the 9th with 2 outs and nobody on. Morrow with the 2-0 pitch to Tatis. Ground ball up the middle. Fletcher has it. He was well positioned for that play. And Fletcher throws to Rizzo. Tatis is retired on a 4-3 ground out. We go now to the bottom of the ninth inning with a 1-0 Padre lead. Chris Bryant will be the first batter for the Cubs in the bottom of the ninth. And Kirby Yates is the new pitcher for the Padres. He has a fascinating line. So far this season, he has thrown 8 1/3. He has allowed 10 hits and 8 earned runs, but struck out 11 while allowing no walks. And all of this has earned him an 8.64 ERA. Well, I don't think that matches up particularly well for the Cubs, but let's see how this goes. Yates is going to pitch to Bryant to lead off the bottom of the ninth. 1-2 count. Yates looks in. Here's the pitch to Bryant. Bryant strikes out swinging. Imagine that. That's what Yates seems to do. He records lots of strikeouts. And now, the strikeout king himself, Kyle Schwarber, is going to be the batter with 1 out and nobody on. 0-2 count. Yates with the pitch. And Schwarber makes sure that he keeps that K in his first name with a swinging strikeout in the bottom of the ninth inning. There are now 2 outs, and Contreras is the batter. 1-2 count to Contreras, and Contreras strikes out swinging. He doesn't have a K, he has a C, but he still is strikeout victim number 3. Well, the Padres are the winners of this game 1-0. They scored 1 run on 3 hits. The Cubs, no runs on 8 hits, but so many opportunities in this game that just seem to all slip away. And the Padres win the series 2-1. We see that the player of the game is, for the second day in a row, the starting pitcher of the losing team. Yu Darvish has his record dropped to 2-3, but he threw 7 innings of 2 hits and 1 run baseball with 1 walk and 10 strikeouts. Zach Davies, for the Padres, threw 7 innings, allowed 8 hits, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. He earns the win to go to 3-1. Munoz is credited with a save. Yates is credited with Munoz is credited with a hold, his 4th of the season. Yates is credited with his 3rd save of the season. He struck out the side in the bottom of the 9th inning. Well, thank you for watching Replacement Player Baseball.